Hello, hello, hello. Good evening and good afternoon, South Africa. It's Pepper's Echo. My name is Andre, and yeah, it's not right. Yeah, and we're on with the live echo again. So tonight, once again, I am not running the most prepared echo ever, and was actually under a few impressions of just quitting it this evening. And I thought, well, you know what? Even if it's for one fan that I do it, I would rather keep it going as it is most important. So welcome, good evening, and let me do the, please don't forget to like and share. It's the only way that I actually get my streams going across and out to everybody. So please like, share, and subscribe, ring the bell to get notified of my future streams. And they vary, anything from TV programs to news to this evening. We are just going to trawl Quora, maybe a little bit of Twitter, tweets, etc., and see what happens from there. I'm not very, very well prepared as such. I had some not such great news. And, hello, how's it, Lynn? Buzzy, guys, do not miss Buzzy. Extraditions will never die. I loved your intro and your outro, by the way. So wonderful, wonderful stuff there. But yeah, as I said, not feeling too great. This corona thing is not bringing us any happiness or joy. Actually just found out this afternoon that some close family members had passed a week ago as well, which is absolutely... It's all fine, except for the clog. But I mean, that's sinus. This time of the year, it always happens to me. Why? Because of the heat over here. We end up with so much heat all year round, and then like our hot season is like die for. But thanks, no worries. Thanks, Lynn. But it's like to die for, and then you get the hot season, and then we've got to put air cons on. So I'm like running in and out of aircon, in and out of aircon. And it's like, wow. Yeah. Next thing, my eyes hanging on the cheek, and what do I feel like this? Probably because you're running in and out of aircon all the time. Hey, yeah, well, apart from that, as I said, Corona is not treating us very, very well. I still go into school because management needs to go into school. We are the working class. Teachers are teaching from home still. My wife is teaching from home still. It is their fourth, I think they're going on for their fifth week of teaching from home. Fortunately, everybody can, and it is possible. There are so many schools that have absolutely cut salaries, that have cut school times, that have I had last week, was it the week before? I think I might have told you guys last week that 3 ladies who'd already been working on 70% salary suddenly rocked up at the little coffee place and said, sorry, we've just been let go. And I was like, head to toe. And when you open up Facebook and you found out that your cousin and his wife both, and okay, fine, I'm a lot, so they're quite a bit older, but still both passed in 1 week on, I think it was Corona, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I was cold head to toe. It is getting out of hand here. 7 degrees there at the moment. Pack some in an envelope and send it off to Cambodia. This address, I could really do with some. I don't know what our temperature now is. Let me see if I see Cambodia, Phnom Penh temperature. Oh, TE goes for temperature. TM. Okay, they go for temples. So let's get temperature typed out. Okay, it is running at 7:15 at night, and we are really cool this evening. I must say, it's so cool that I've even got the aircon is only on 25 at the moment, and it is 29 degrees, and it's nice and cold. That's nice and cold, yeah, by the way. Usually we're getting at like 10, 11 at night, sometimes 12 o'clock at night. We're sitting on a 30 degrees. When you get to the freezing cold morning temperature, it's 27 degrees. So a 7 degree, yeah, bring it on, baby, bring it on. Daddy's waiting for the cold. Yeah, no, but yeah, otherwise, we can't complain. We've had both our jabs. Yeah, we just don't get out. I said to a friend this week, I said, "Oh man, we're just not getting out. We're just not getting out." Yeah, no, those temperatures, and you also, I think you guys have extreme. If I'm not mistaken, you're from KwaZulu-Natal. Well, you're from Rhodesia, I know that. But right now, I think you're in KwaZulu-Natal, and you also have a very, very humid temperature because, yeah, the humidity is like 80% plus consistently as well, which is like hectic. Yeah, so we're waiting for some rain when there's usually spin-offs from tornado, not really tornadoes, what's the other ones, hurricanes and things like that. It usually hits our coastal areas and the provincial areas more, but not much in Phnom Penh as such. But yeah, South Africa, I miss those days of having the bird bath frozen over in the morning when you go to school in the morning. I actually just miss the days of going to school, but yeah, what can I say? Had some time that I spoke to a friend this week, as I said, and I said, you know what, it's just going out that is killing me, that we just don't get to go out. And I don't mean that we don't get to go out to a pub or a restaurant. That too, that would be nice. I mean, you can go if you want to. You want to take a chance. As I said, I'm not paranoid, but guys, I'm also not stupid. This thing is serious. I mean, I did a thing last week on what was said about taking the shot or not. I don't know. I didn't get very much feedback or anything like that on it. But for goodness sakes, you've put worse into your body between when you were born and now. Trust me, this is not going to kill you. Mitigate. Yeah, it says everyone, but it's not going to cure you, but it's not going to make a difference. You're still going to wear a mask. You're still going to, yes, but it is going to it's going to mitigate the situation for you. And if that means, if I give you a bag of jelly beans and I say, yes, 10 people eating out of this bag of jelly beans, but guys, 10 of these jelly beans are going to kill you. But if you eat this marshmallow, only 2 are going to kill you. What are you going to do? No, well, I'll take my chances with the 10. Well, you're going to eat the marshmallow so that hopefully you don't get one of the 2 that are going to kill you. If I give you a bag of jelly beans and I say 2 are going to kill you, you probably won't want to eat the damn jelly beans. But yeah, if we're eating it, we're eating it. There's nothing we can really do about it as such. But yeah, like and subscribe, as I asked. Where's my banners? Anything that you'd like to do, if there's anything that you'd like to discuss, if you'd love to come on the program, I'd love to have you on the show as well, and we can have some fantastic chats. I do a bit of political chats and that as well. I don't have much politics going on at the moment today. In fact, other than the matter of the fact that Zuma is in jail. But remember, guys, he's not in jail for his wrong. Everyone's like, yeah, you know what, he's in jail. He should rot in jail for what he's done. He's not in jail for any state capture offenses or for messing up the country or anything like that. The only thing that he's gone to jail for is because he didn't go to court. All the rest still has to prevail. So I'd like to actually see him found guilty on the right things as well. I'm very, very pleased that he's eventually got his butt in jail as well. Where did I see that? That was brilliant that I saw earlier on today. It was, let me see if I can pull that up with my phone, with Jacob Zuma in prison, and I can play it for you. I'll probably get a copyright because it's got a song on it, and obviously the song is what makes it. But let us see. Sorry, give me 2 seconds. I need to link a device, and at once can't get my phone to do facial recognition. It's too ugly. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, no, I don't do facial recognition. I think it was these guys that had it. Yeah. So anyway, I can stop it. Okay. I don't really want to share all my contacts and everybody with you. Wait, there. Okay. I think the song's given it away already, but I really, really like this. I thought it was absolutely hilarious. And whoever put it together, good on you. And yeah, if you do silence during it and you missed a good song, it's copyright strike or something like that. But I am small enough not to be monetized, so they're welcome to it as such. Let's take a look. Oh, sorry, let me bring the share in. Who remembers 5 Star? Scully, Papa Bach for you. What we got across there? Buzzy. Him being in jail is causing total. I believe so. I think it's absolutely traumatic in KwaZulu-Natal. It's ridiculous as well. I don't think the police force are set for it. I don't even think the military is set for it, but I honestly think they should bring out the military there as well. I mean, you cannot accept things like that. And if you were watching, let me actually I've skipped my whole start because, you know what, I actually feel so crappy today. And then just coming on this stream actually just makes me feel like back up there. Trucks are burning on all main roads. Yeah. And his daughter is going, Ronaldo host, so did on his show on Saturday evening was actually showing, excuse me, was showing is Dudu Zile was his daughter, I think it is, was going, yeah, we see you, Amandla, we see you, Amandla. I mean, then you get a guy who goes to Senegal and he does a little bit of a talk and they wrap him up and send him off to jail for enticing violence. And then you have these people and nothing gets done to them. Nothing, the entitlement. Huh? This is good. So yes, but Malema should be there too. Yeah, I just really, really liked it as such. So yes, Malema is in jail. There's another one I wanted to see as well that I actually quite enjoyed. It's got nothing to do with South Africa, but I don't know if you're watching the MMA. Colin McGregor they said that he's done a little bit of a change around as well, where he used to be so much better, so much nicer, so much more of a gentleman. Poira, I think Dustin Poira is who he fought against. He lost against Dustin Poira because he went in flying, but he as he was kicking him and he took him, I think, with a left, and Dustin actually felt that one. And then he was kicking him like mad, and then he actually got the kick in, which fractured his leg. And that's what left him lying in the corner of the octagon. And there he was still showing, oh, no, he's going to kill him and everything like that. He was the one who actually said, unfortunately, McGregor was the one who said, yeah, no, he's going to send Poira out on a stretcher. And he brought his wife into it as well. And he's really, you know what, from a good, upstanding man, he's actually, I don't know if fame went to his head or whatever. I don't have that part over here. It's just what I was reading through as well earlier on. I wasn't prepared, so I usually just go a few things. Where we go? Wish Malema, that bloody terrorist. That's all he is. He's a flippant thug and a terrorist. Should be in jail because what he incited. Of course, yes. Malema caused so much, but not only what he incited in Senegal. I mean, he sits in an interview and he goes, yeah, we're not going to call for the killing of whites yet. No, it's an absolute pleasure. I love your channel. I've been watching out for it as well. And guys, I don't know if I've got. Yeah, let me actually take a look. I am. My subscription to it is there. So if I can maybe get onto it from there and I can post. Buzzy's Moments. Used to be Rhodesians Will Never Die. I'd like to know why you changed it one day, but I love your song, your Rhodesian song on it in the beginning, especially at the end. I know it played a couple of times over, but it was just, I think this is it. Let me see if I copy that. In there. But this channel, yeah, I think it's that one over there. So this channel, guys, let me post it in there. Really go and give it a follow. Go and take a look. You know what? I just like the down to earth every day that there is. There's no big theme. There's no, well, there is a theme, but I mean, there's no second agendas. No, it was just really, really so cool. You and Ruth were having such a fantastic, and what a lovely person Ruth is as well. I must unfortunately confess that I have subscribed to Ruth. I have not got onto too many of her shows. It's sometimes just difficult for me to keep up. Life happens terribly with me. South Africa is also a different time for me to keep up with because I'm consistently 5 hours ahead of you. That's why I can't watch Ronaldo live. I always watch him the next morning. And you go like, why do you watch Ronaldo the next morning? He's on at 8 o'clock at night. And I'm like, yeah, because that means I got to sit up until 1 o'clock in the morning to watch Ronaldo. He was earlier with a show, a members only show last night. And I think that was at about 10 o'clock. And then Buzzy, and that was on at about 11 o'clock, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah. There we go. Buzzy's shining a light on other things, not just politics or COVID. Yeah. You know what? COVID's sort of like, I'm overtaken by COVID these days. It really puts an itch in my bee in my bonnet. But, yeah, scratch, then don't go there. Scratch, scratch, scratch. Yes. But, yeah, so otherwise, what was I going to say? But I loved your intro. I really do. Then I was looking at Cora. I spoke about Colin McGregor. Where's my Cora? Where's my Cora? There's just snapshots then and there. And there's a Japanese guy, and I really, really enjoyed this guy, old Ronaldo. Funnily enough, there we go. There's old Andre as well. Japanese fan tried to speak Portuguese, and the crowd laughed. Ronaldo turned around and he said, you should be happy because he's trying very hard. And wow, you know what a guy, because he always does stand up things like that. He really, really does. He's pretty amazing in that sense, and I actually have a lot of time for him that as well. So, yeah, there's a couple of stars. What was I watching the other day? South Africans. Do you remember, and now I'll probably give away my age and all that wonderful stuff, and I'm really, really sorry if I'm looking at the younger crowd and they're all going, huh? But yeah, you remember a band called Evoid? I was sitting here this afternoon and I was looking at a few things, and I was watching a band called Evoid called Shadows. Playing Shadows. And it's from 1985. And I'm like, oh, we used to get down to that. Wow. And yeah, you know what? How time changed. Let's take a look. Buzzy says, Ronaldo is a man of integrity. I could not agree even one bit more. He is such a down-to-earth guy. He is brilliant in the fact that it doesn't seem to come. I mean, he came onto Pepper's Echo show. I mean, I was a little starstruck, but you know what, respect to the man. He was down to earth. He put in the time, and you know, he wasn't arrogant. He wasn't obnoxious. He was so, you know, and he kept me informed on mails. Yes, you know what, he was going through a time of having to reapply, and even afterwards is like, I'm really, really sorry it took that long. And I'm like, wow, dude, you know what, I've never had someone keep me that informed before. You know, I thanked him afterwards, and I keep well. We'll get along sometime, and I'd love to have him on again. I want to try and have Chris Wyatt on a bit as well sometime. I'd like Joe, and because all the guys that I usually tell you about Ronaldo Gous. If you want the deep dive and you want a bit of honest truth, etc., you go for him. Your morning news analysis, never miss a morning shot with Robin Kavanagh. Chris Wyatt, probably one of the most interesting people that I've ever known, and he is based in the States, ex-Army colonel, I think. Yeah. Anyway, and he is, yes, yeah, we're talking about Ronaldo, and yeah, and said, yeah, he helps other YouTubers get subs. Yes, he's honestly not a selfish, not. It is, yeah, and that's why I watch him. You know what? It's my morning ritual. On my way to work, I listen to my little Uncle Angus message, and yeah, that's for your own reservations if you want or not. And then when I get to work, start pulling out the books and the papers and everything I've got to do, and then plug in Ronaldo so that I can catch up on him as well. And it's really, really nice and much better than a lot of these soap operas that you watch because you're dealing with facts. Sometimes you're doing a little bit fun, etc. Talking about fun, I just came across this. Trying to stop smoking. Not getting anywhere. Still on this, but still on the cigarettes because this is illegal here in Cambodia, believe it or not. Vaping is illegal. Yeah. Well, we've got, helping me along. Thanks. Oh, you are so much help this evening, Lynn. Thank you so much. Colonel Chris Wyatt is also a man of integrity. He knows more about Africa than Africans. True. High integrity, very humble, extremely knowledgeable, extremely. I wouldn't start an argument with that man. Let me put it to you that way. MSM. Oh. SMS, MSM, mainstream media? No, I don't either. Well, I can't really because I'm in Cambodia. So the only way that I keep up to date with what is happening, and that is what keeps me a little bit more up to date than normal because I don't get this SABC nonsense shoved down my throat. I actually get Ronaldo, I get Chris Wyatt, and I get Roman Kavanagh with Morning Shot, and don't write off Joe Emilio. Joe's also on the ground. He's got his ear to the ground as well. And then I always add this chap in because he's still one of the good guys. Is old Germ Warfare. I think he's still got. I haven't seen some of these things for quite a while now as well. But I was telling you about stopping smoking, this being illegal. But how's this? Dude locks his head in a cage in an attempt to stop smoking. You think you're a freaking budgie or something like that. Feed him seed. His wife has the key, and she only opens it for meals. Well, I'm really hoping it's his actual own decision, because if it's his wife who's made him wear a cage on his head, there are patches for these things in life, buddy. You know what I'm saying? There's also turkey, cold turkey. But you don't have to go budgie on yourself. But yeah, so that's another one of Cora. I love this Cora because they really, really give us a couple of little things there. There's another one on Cora about a woman was on the phone being interviewed for a job. And this guy, the mayor of Chicago, randomly grabbed the phone and put in a good word for her. How's that? The mayor's parking next to you and suddenly says, well, let me help you get your job. Well, yeah, went for an interview. Well, not an interview, but actually went and spoke to a school the other day as well. Sorry, yeah, I got that one eventually. I'm a little slow tonight. Congestion. The congestion I can't anymore. But, yeah. Mainstream media. But, yeah, and I spoke to them, and wow, you know what? People are... You know, when I looked at things today, and I don't want to go back into, because tonight I just wanted it to be a happy one. I said, guys, tonight I'm going to do a happy half an hour. If I have guests or anything like that, I will push it to an hour. But, yeah, if I have guests or anything like that, we can push it to an hour. But I know that people really don't push through more than a half an hour unless you have somebody online. And he said, Rhodesians never died. Buzzy, Lynn, I really Tell me when you've got time sometime. And pop onto Pepper's Echo with me. I'd love to have a chat. And if you want to drag a few of your friends on, I use StreamYard as well. So we can go up to 10 people and have an absolutely fantastic time. Do you have lots of vitamin C? Nachos, oranges. Nachos. Sweet nachos. No. There is fruit, yeah. I don't think it's as good as South African fruit. For me, South Africa makes the most phenomenal fruit, which they export anyway, but doesn't seem to import, yeah. But yeah, we do get nachos and orange juice. I usually drink this Nutri-C, and then there's this thing called Royal D, vitamin C, that I drink every day because, apparently especially if you're a smoker, you need more vitamin C than anybody else normally as such. I've really got to try and tough up a bit because my wife always sort of jumps on me and says, Andre, you really got to look better. I said, well, yeah, shouldn't we can do something about the background? We can do something about the foreground, but the foreground is not going to outdo the background. But anyway, let's take a look, see as we go forward. Maybe we can do something about the foreground and the background. I just, you know what, I had everything. I had the flag and the map when I was against the window, and now I've turned the whole desk this way and it's against this wall. And I'm in an apartment and I can't drill holes, so I can't hang anything up. And, well, you know what, 50 million excuses. Let's get something done as we go back. So, yeah. But, yeah, vitamin C, lots of vitamin C. Do you have a lot of vitamin C? Nachos, oranges. As I said, we have a friend. He has my girlfriend, and she gets us at the, thanks, Lynn. You are gorgeous too. And I loved your, I think it was your unicorn. Yeah. And that's why I said, saying that I got somewhere. Let me get this thing going down a bit. So I keep on knocking it up. That's what I said yesterday. Best saying I ever read. Be who you are. Never be anything else. Unless you can be a unicorn, then be a unicorn. But try false eyelashes. I need false eyebrows. These things don't come up at all. They're so blonde that they're like gone. This is my original eyebrows that I've had for life. You know, I look like Reichardt van den Berg. They just didn't come back. And then, of course, over here is I really need to do some dyeing there again. But, well, we can't all be George Clooney. Yeah, your unicorn, Alice Band, that was the cutest thing. You were a very cute unicorn as well. But, yeah, come on. Drop us a line. I do have Pepper's Echo. Where are my banners? And then anybody else that'd like to pop on or anything like that. If you have ideas, you don't want to pop on, you want to come and chat a bit, can be politics, cannot be politics, can be hobby, anything of interest. If you don't want to come on, tell us about, and we'll try and chat about it. I am just the man in the street from the outside looking in. That's what Pepper's Echo is. It's not research heavily. It's not learned. It's what we see, what we know, create the questions. But drop me a mail, peppersecho@gmail.com. No double P, no E. It is meant to be like that. I did set up the original one, forgot the password, and now I don't know it anymore. So, yes, and you are watching the live Echo with Pepper's Echo as such. Gray. Don't put up my email. Don't put up email. That's specifically done for Pepper's Echo. It's none of my private emails at all there. You have a Telegram group? That's great. I don't know if I'd be able to upkeep a Telegram group. That's absolutely fantastic. You have a Telegram group? That's really, really... You know, I thought of it before, and I see that more and more people are jumping up at Telegram groups. But to start it, I know Willem Petz is pretty prominent with it. I belong to his Telegram group, and that's about all. Otherwise, I don't have any other Telegram groups except for the school groups that I belong to. And I think there's one other one. Oh, Daily Thoughts. My Daily Thoughts. How can I forget? It's on my way trip home. But you know what? I would feel so guilty. I think I'd die of guilt from not upkeeping my Telegram group. If I had a Telegram group, it would just like thrash me to pieces. Because, you know, I think you've got to keep posting news and views and things like that on there. And I do. I mean, that's the other Telegram group I have is the Cambodian news that gets like posted. and they post like 30, 40 posts a day, if not more. And well, you know what? I have it on mute, so it's not the end of the world. I have for those of you that from South Africa remember Ellerine's Furnishers, Ryan Gold, Town Talk, Ellerine's. I was a credit manager with Ellerine's, and later on I was regional credit manager in the Northern Cape. And they have a group of old boys together, and well, ex-old boys and everything. And they have some great chats. So that there's a group there, but very, very nice, very pretty proper guys. So there's nothing rude on there, which is quite nice, because I like to. My brain doesn't stop. It's the whole thing, you know. And how do you explain to somebody when you're sitting in the pub and they're going, "Isn't this just nice, relaxing?" And you're trying to explain that you're thinking about work tomorrow and how to sort this out and how this is going to fix up. But yeah, you know, my mind is like that. It's planning 50 things, 50 miles a minute. I've really got to go back onto pep talk again. I've only done 2 pep talks and spoken about there. But I'm so afraid that people think that I'm trying to tell you what to do. And I'm just trying to tell you how I cope with things, because I automatically analyze. And instead of going, well, this needs to be done like that, my mind goes, well, it needs to be done like that. And it can be done like that. Alternately, like this. But if we do that, it will go like that. And with all 5 of those situations, these are the following things that can go wrong. If these things go wrong, we need to put the following in place. Oh, my goodness me. Yeah. Let's take a look. Did we see what Chris White did to Conscious Caracal? All subs went to his channel and overwhelmed him with super chat stickers. No, I did not see that one at all. I have been a little tardy at the moment. The only person that I've sort of half and half kept up with the last 2 weeks, because I've gone through competitions and exams and everything like that, and it has been hell on wheels excuse me, online. So it's just been overwhelming. But did you see what Chris Wyatt did to Conscious Caracal? All subs went to his channel and overwhelmed him with super chats and stickers. A shame, bless him. No, all good people. You know what? And that's the nice thing is just having, and I love talking about people. So you know what? I really need to get little stickers of, you know, like Roman for Morning Shot has a little advertisement in the middle, and we go to the quartermaster. We all know the quartermaster. I don't know if he still has quartermaster in there. I don't think so, because he changed from. But I remember for a long time in the beginning was the quartermaster, and some rubbish pickup or something like that. Skip. I don't know. Those are the first ones. I know there's different ones now, and the head vape and all that. But I should get little pictures of the guys that I like for streaming. Like I can put Ronaldo, Morning Shot, Buzzy, Joe, Chris. You know what I struggle with Chris's sometimes? I do miss some of Chris's, actually quite a few, because I don't have the exact time. Once again, it's really, really difficult for me to actually pick up the timing over here, because of being 5 hours ahead. As I say, I know Ronaldo's like 8 o'clock at night, so it's 1 o'clock in the morning for me. Just not possible, except on the Saturday evening. Sometimes if I'm not really busy or if I've been crashed out, although the weekends do sometimes get a little bit hectic, I know that about 10 o'clock at night I can catch his members only, but then I can't really interact in it as such. We're looking at need to get you more subs, need to share your channel, need to get in touch. I could not take your email down. Oh, is that what you wanted? My email, it said don't take it down. Okay, let me get it back up again. Whammo. There we go. I will leave that up for the time being. Yes, no, it will be lovely. It will be lovely. I don't expect too much. I do this for a lot of fun, for a lot of love, and I enjoy it. As I said, the last time we spoke about series, when I was feeling so ill, we just spoke about series. What was it? Deputy, Longmire, and Chicago PD it was. I'm going to show you something, yeah, also on Quora. What would you do in this situation? Let me get it this way. See if it will zoom in. Can I go this way? Yeah, what would you do in this situation? Me. Yeah, me. But yeah, I need to get hold of Crystal as well to come in. But yeah, if there's a couple of people want to come on, then let me know. If you got a couple of people, we can have a nice chat. If you ever got people on or just phoning in, I know you on Saturdays. Also, I was also wanting to know, guys. My biggest concern is, am I doing it at the wrong time? Now, I do this at 7 o'clock on a Sunday night in Cambodia. So that's why it comes on at 2 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon there. Super, thanks. It comes on a Sunday afternoon over there in South Africa. And we have another one that just a bunch of friends, my wife does, and myself, and two other couples. Well, most of us South African. The one guy is South African, his girlfriend is Cambodian, and then another couple, they're also from South Africa, and then my wife and I, and we all work at schools in Cambodia, and we do, and sometimes it's just a chat. I know this afternoon they just had a chat. Sometimes it's just the ladies were talking about something like Khmer. Usually they try and talk about something Khmer, what's going on in Cambodia, etc., etc., etc. I try not to make dirty jokes. My wife gives me a lecture afterwards because I have now implied something, and some of the kiddies do watch it as well. However, I am making sure that you've got to know it before you hit it. It's like today, I actually went along. I shouldn't say it. I'm going to hell. But I went along Facebook, and one friend had posted something. He says, "You know what? You're Johnson. Its name is the last thing that you watched on TV." I proudly typed Longmire. But yeah. Yeah, what can I say? What's left to say after today? Father beat up man to death. I can take a look at what I'm going through at the moment there. I dropped out of college 4 years ago. Today I spent $38 on a cap and a gown and got it in line. I literally have been a student there. My boyfriend and I broke up days after the prom, so I decided to edit the photos a little. Okay, got some Ryan Reynolds in there. What I do enjoy about Quora, they have the Quora Digest parts as well. I think this one's on depression, philosophy for life. Oh, let me not go that way as well. Where am I? There's a good couple of questions and things that I usually work through it. And it actually gets sent to my mail. So something else is Quora if you're looking for something different to the Twit box. What have we got there? Oh, Ronaldo's put, I've given people enough time to watch the fight. Amazing how from our homegrown hero, Dricus du Plessis, absolutely insane knockout. Well done to the champ. Oh, fantastic, fantastic. Also on the MMA, yeah, it's good to see South Africa flying the flag. 2 cabinet members told the paper that Ramaphosa is likely to extend the lockdown by a further 2 weeks, which would effectively see restrictions continue until the end of July. Wow. Well, we're not expecting, our school year ends at the end of July, and we're not expecting our teachers back yet either. Wednesday's child, good morning. How are you all Sunday today? Tell me about it, please. Lunches, drives, books, anything. Something else. There's McGregor's leg breaking, by the way, if you didn't see the fight. Where am I? And that's how he ended up in the McGregor's foot looking like a PlayStation logo. Okay, well, yeah, that's one way of putting it. But I love these WTF facts as well. There is a word for the day after tomorrow, but for some reason we stopped using it. Overmorrow. Yeah, because life's too short these days. What's happening here? Lynn, you're part of the world. Hey, a church leader in KwaZulu-Natal has made an impassioned plea to President Cyril Ramaphosa to intervene in the call for the release of former President. Why do you want to? It's like yeah. Now, I'll tell you about a story over here. What is this? At the beginning of 2020, and I know I talk too much, but I love talking. At the beginning of 2020 lockdown, as I was in Khayelitsha, and I observed early signs of food scarcity. Today in Yanga, I was told by a 28-year-old man that the that he slaughters dogs and cats to eat. This is not how a rights-based democracy works. We need a basic income. Sadly, they are trying to outlaw that over here because they can actually sell it on the side of the road. Goats can be seen rummaging through the rubbish which was strewn about during this morning's unrest. Yeah, I agree, Miss Rottinger. Let me take this away. It's actually time for me to get my sorry butt off here. Yeah, Miss Rottinger, I agree, but not only for contempt of court. I want him to take responsibility for the issues that he has caused. And he's got to stop. I mean, somewhere along the line, they've got to draw a line in the country. I look at the fact, and when I was talking to Ronaldo when he was on the show, and I love name dropping that name, no, I'm kidding. But we were talking about it, and I said to him, you know what, how does he feel about people who talk about South Africa who aren't in South Africa? Because most of my political jibber jabber is about South Africa. Excuse me. And I know I was going to say something just now, but I forgot, so I'm not going to say it. But anyway, what does he think about it? You know, because I'm not dissing South Africa as a country that isn't loved. I love the country. I think if I have to write down what is the most beautiful country in this world, it will be South Africa. What is the most neglected country in this world? South Africa would be amongst the top there, definitely as such. But sadly, it is going worse and worse and worse. I mean, I said to my wife the other day, I said, you know what, we might even want to go up north a bit, still keep on saving because we do not have a dime to our name. I'm going to have to, you know, when I retire, I'm going to have to do a GoFundMe or something like that. You know, please help me retire. But yeah, no, but anyway, we need to save and at least try and get something so that we can survive. And I said to you know, I don't see Cambodia as my end of life. We'll move up north a bit sometime, but maybe we can buy a little apartment or a flat in South Africa and save up enough to be able to at least put somewhere or something like that so that we could just survive or live. And someone said to me, you know what, I don't know if you're going to be able to join in South Africa, see South Africa. So, yeah. You are making people aware of what is actually going on. Yes, I try. And I try and look at it from a point of an everyday man in the street, like me, uneducated. I don't want to say uncultured, but just plain. I'm not stupid, but patopiada, you know. And that, you know, one of these things that I want to talk about is the South African attitude, because I worked in retail and I think I put it on your site last night, Linda. I said, I worked in retail for 20 plus years. And I have never come across, you were busy talking about drivers and that. I've never come across more arrogant people than South Africans. Now, obviously, I haven't really been out of the world that much, so I'm not a traveled person. But if I match it here, Ruth was talking about the gentleman where she had accidentally maybe swerved in early or done a bit of cut off, and she flicked and said sorry, and he persisted on following her for 2 k's to get out to yell at her. I mean, first of all, we are far too entitled when it comes to owning the road or something, or you know what, you have done me wrong. Drive in Cambodia, I did put a little video up on one of my shows which showed, you know, it's push in, all for all. You go and on a major road, you want to turn left, you start edging in left, and the cars eventually start stopping, and 2 or 3 cars go over left, and then everything starts again. You wanting to go over right, you start going over to the right, and a car's behind you, he'll hoot, and you go, oh, sorry, and you carry on. You know, there is no road rage. Hooters go all the time. But I've yet to see a finger or somebody actually turn around, stick his tongue out, stare the man down. I mean, you know what we like? Somebody's been driving slow and you can't get past this bugger. Then you go and you drive past him, and then you do the stare down. Do you know what you did? And then you carry on past him again. It's South African, you know. And my point is that in retail, sadly, the most vile people, arrogant, entitled people that I have come across is middle-aged, white, conservative South African. Sorry, that's it. You know what? I'm not saying the ANC isn't shot up the tree and they're entitled, but it's what I expect from them because they know no better. They act no better. It's what they're doing. I don't agree with it or whatever. But yeah. Don't come back. I know you miss South Africa, but it's not worth it. You know what, Lynn? Sadly, friends, good friends, family, people all tell me that. I showed the photo the other day when I was talking about it, and I'll go through Cambodian photos again. Yeah, my wife and I sold everything. We arrived in Cambodia with $2,000 and 2 suitcases. That's how we got to Cambodia. You're middle-aged, but you're one of those nice middle-aged people, then. You really are. I'm not saying everybody. I'm saying that the majority who I was abused by. No, that's what I say. Well, my aged people and older. My age and older. And you're also the young people as well. I mean, but it was a conservative, let me not age it. Let me just say a more conservative, entitled, arrogant white were people who would far easily treat you badly and try and get away. I mean, I've told this story so many times before that I was working in a store as a manager where we repaired items, and this chap bought in an item that had to be repaired, and it was out of its warranty. But we sent it to supplier for the repair, and it does say yes, you will be quoted before you repair. But the supplier also actually states that anything under R1,000 they don't repair for, and it's like a 15,000-16,000 rand item. So basically, the repair costs R340. So the supplier sent it back, and the little lady in the front, lovely little, it was a little black lady, and she was a wonderful little cashier of mine, and she handled things fantastically, and she phoned very happy with the gent because we got it back so quickly. She says, your repair is ready to be collected. It's R340. I have never been so seethed upon by an entitled, blatant, miserable piece of dung like this before. He was livid with us. Why did we not quote him? And eventually the supplier phoned him. Then he phoned me back. You know what? Why is the supplier phoning him? It is my problem, and I need to. What must I do? I take it out? You know what? What do you? You will do nothing of the sort. Well, do you want your item? Yes, the quote, but you can't quote me now because you've already told me it's been. You know, he went on about that. So he was such a sleuth scaling son of a bitch that he got it for free in the end. I have had a removal company in the Free State wanting to move me. Well, I actually got them to move me, and I specifically said I have a motorcycle. And I was beyond myself the morning they rocked up with like a meat truck in Nelspruit to move me to Johannesburg. A Free State, somebody other, oh man, can't remember him. Unfortunately, was an Afrikaans speaking, also middle-aged chap. And I said to him, please, this isn't working. I was stressed out totally. No, phone my operations guy. And I phoned him back. I said, this is your stressed out client. Your operations guy is not holding up. And it was, if you and your friends and whoever and whatever, you can go and shove this and that. This is what he said, how he spoke to me as a customer. And I'll take my stuff and bugger off, and you'll be stuck. Well, needless to say, they broke my motorcycle in the end. But what I actually want to name and shame him, but I just want to get the right company because he's an absolute dog. But I actually get my blood just boiled when I think of the middle-aged white South African that is so entitled. And that's why South Africa doesn't come right. Because, yeah, you need leadership. You need example, not these pathetic, entitled, these guys have got their pensions and their provident funds, and yeah, they did make their money in their apartheid years. And you know what? There's nothing we can do about it. I didn't. As I said, what you see here, not even this wall behind me is mine. I sleep on a bed that isn't mine. The sheets on the bed literally are not mine. We rent a fully furnished apartment. The pots, the pans, the TV, this desk is mine, the PC is mine, things like that, etc. Yeah, naturally, priorities. Before you buy sheets, buy a PC. But what do we got there? Lynn, Andre, I got my bucky back. Yes, you were saying, and you ripped you a new one for it as well, which I haven't had for 11 months. 11 months, Lynn, waiting for it to be fixed. It was scary after not having driven for 11 months. I'm a little bit worried about going back to South Africa. I haven't driven for 2.5 years. And I had a scooter for 2 years, which I've given up because my school that I work at now and where I live are quite far apart, and I'm not prepared to give up my apartment because I like a Western apartment. So we took now. Driving in this traffic's an absolute hernia. But I didn't drive for 2.5 years. My driver's license, I was going to go back to South Africa last year in August to go and visit. Obviously, COVID has not made it possible for me to do that. So, but yeah, I haven't got behind the wheel of a car. My driver's license is expired. International license is only valid for a year, so that's expired as well. And when I get back to South Africa, am I going to be able to renew that license within 2 to 3 weeks when I get there? That's the next problem. And the other problem that I have when I get back to South Africa, I can't go and sit in one place. It's an absolute stress ball for me to go back there because I can't go to one place, visit the people, and fly home again like most normal people do. No, I've got to get into Johannesburg. I've got to go see people there. Then we've got to get down to Vanderbijl, what's the other place? Fochville, then down to Kimberley, then to Bloemfontein, then drive down to PE. I've got to bloody tour myself to pieces and pay my ass loose. But yeah, I can imagine. Pretty scary. You were saying you were like freewheeling or you couldn't feel your legs. It's not a good one. If you can't feel your leg, move it away from the accelerator, please, because if a dead leg drops on there, we're yeah. Horse manure. Thank you very much. Yes, horse manure. Lynn is going to help me not to curse. You will be my wife's hero. Oh, well. Anyhow, so I think I've spoken enough horse manure for a evening. I was aiming at half an hour. Lynn, thank you so much. Linda is usually on as well, but I don't know where she is. Linda, thinking of you and your family. I actually saw your little Facebook post the other day of lighting a candle for those with COVID. And with it hitting so close home to myself as well, I really, really, my thoughts and my prayers go out to yourself, your family, but everybody else's family. I know there's a friend of mine whose family as well has got it. As I said, my cousin and his wife in 1 week. I was a little bit ashes today about that as well. So, you know what, thinking of you guys there. Thank you for always being there, Chuck. Lizzie, what we got? The computer box went. Oh, crumbs on the bucky. Could afford a second-hand one. 8,500. Yes, the prices in SA are just going. That's one thing I must say. And this Cambodia is very, very inexpensive to live in. Had one put together from parts. It took 6 months, and a new battery on 1,300. That is ridiculous. It's like when we were leaving South Africa, we were sold, and we were also not on the best foot there. A lot had happened, and I had a little Hyundai Getz that had to be sold, and the guy said, "Okay, I'll take it." That very night that I was going to, the next day he was going to fetch it. I was driving home in the rain. Bam. Car died on me. No lights, nothing, anything. It just died. I couldn't do a thing. In rain, I was standing outside waving a jack because I had no other red thing on me to be able to try and stop the cars. And then it went into some auto electrician place. It was like 1,000 rand to tow home, 1,000 rand to tow to this auto electrician place. And then it was like, I don't know, 2,000 something rand to do some wiring. I don't know if they did it properly or not. I'm not going to say. But that got done. And then he phoned me, he says, right, no, it's all fixed up now. But I said, what? He says, no, some clampers around your wheel brakes or whatever have clamped fast. Luckily, the guy that I was buying the stuff from, or was buying the car from me, was actually a very, very nice guy. He was a colored chappy, but what a lovely chap. I said to him, look, you know what? I know you buy cars, you fix them up, you sell them. That's what you're doing with the Gets. I said, please go and take a look at what you've got to do to fix that car, take it off what you're going to buy it for, and give me a re-offered price. And he, not a problem, and he actually did the best. He still had me over. We had a beer. He took a look, showed me what he was going to do. What a nice guy. Just before that, the reason I got into trouble of not being able to buy a decent car is because some banana, once again, middle age, and unfortunately, this guy was British. He was a real Brit because he had the accent, but he was South African, so I don't know if he was. I'm sure he had the British passport, probably. But he sold me a Renault. No, it's fine. No, this is this. Eventually, stupid me, who knows nothing about cars, do not, guys, buy a car ever if you don't have any knowledge. Don't just stick your pride in your pocket and take somebody with. And don't be overzealous. Because I had to go and buy one, and off I ran. And, no, okay, yeah, and it's clunking, and this wasn't working, and that. Only to find out that the exhaust was totally off, loose. They put it up on a lift, and then next thing the guy says, your whole engine block is... You know what? There's no engine mounting. It's all just these little tags. What's these little rip pulls or what plastic zip cords or whatever? That's what's holding it together. That's why your gears are going all over the place. Phoned the guy. I said, look, I don't want this car. You know what? It's not what you sold me. He says, so what's that got to do with me? And put the phone down. So sometimes never change. Women are still being taken for a ride. Yeah, and guys, I was taken for a ride KTM Alberton. I'll tell you what, I bought a bike for 32,000 from someone, and I just had a bit of a problem with it not wanting to idle, and took it to KTM Alberton, and eventually 36,000 rand later, I bought the bike for 32,000. KTM Alberton tried this, trying that. I couldn't really see any big difference of what they've done with it. Whatever, because all I really wanted was a service and to be looked at, and then this and this and this and this. 36,000 rand later, I took my bike to Yamaha, but it was something else also down in. It was a Yamaha agent. It wasn't Yamaha themselves. This was KTM themselves in Alberton that took me for such a ride. Yamaha, Paradise Yamaha, I'm not too sure. Anyway, guy there he says to me, look, he says, if you paid 32,000 rand for this bike, he says, I shouldn't be having to do anything more than about 2,500 rand. Otherwise, you're going to need to sell it. It's not going to be worth your while. I said, great. If somebody told me that in the first place, this would have been cool. And then he says, well, let's take a look at the air filter. Boom, he pulls out the air filter as black as night. KTM had charged me 36,000 rand, 4,000 rand more than what I purchased the bike for, to do whatever fixing and tuning or whatever they wanted to do on it. And then they hadn't even cleaned the air filter. Well, he did a few little fixes here and there and came to about 1,300 rand. I think it's Paradise Yamaha or something like that. I'm not too sure. And I think his name was Eugene as well. But stand corrected. Shame you can't remember the good guys. You just remember the bad guys. But and I rode that bike until I sold it, and he just looked after it nicely for me, so that we got the services done, and we tinkered where we can. What the hell, these guys? They were obviously having a whale of a time charging labors, and I don't know what they were putting onto it. Yeah, cable ties. Yep, cable ties. Engine block. Engine was being held up for that. Oh, and the exhaust needs to be fixed. This always the exhaust always makes it a clink, 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 clink. Yeah, you must have someone that's car savvy. And as I said, guys, please. Yeah, I'm tired of crooks. That's the problem. Let me tell you something else. And I'm now taking up time. South Africa. I agree with something that was said the other day, especially with COVID closing restaurants and everything like that. and they can only do takeaways. And the guy and was said somewhere and said, listen, you know what? If you can afford it, try at least 1, 2, or maybe even 3 times a week just to order, especially at the smaller restaurants or one-man restaurants, just order a meal from there. I actually try and practice that here in Cambodia, especially when the restaurants and that are closed and that I know they can only do takeaways. I try and order. But let me put it to you this way. The one-man business doesn't try and rip the unknown man a new one. I go to supermarkets to buy stuff. If I go and buy beers or cool drink or whatever, I go to a supermarket, I buy there. You get supermarkets, it's like a Spar shop over here or a Checkers. And then that's called Lucky or Thai Hut, and the other one's Super Duper. Super Duper is pretty expensive because they've got quite a bit of imported stuff in that there as well. But Lucky is the local supermarket. Thai Hut is Thai, but it's local. And then you get the average man in the street, the little guy with these little, you know what, all over the street here is. One day when I actually do a drive-through, I'll do a show that I've just driven through Cambodia, Phnom Penh. But they got like little shops all along this. I mean, you can drive along this road, run out of fuel, and I'm telling you, if you look 1, 2, 3 shops next to each other, one of those 3 shops will have glass bottles of fuel that you can buy a 1 liter of fuel and put in your bike. 2 shops up from me, there's a shop on the pavement with glass cool drink bottles with petrol in it. So if you run out of fuel, you just buy 1 liter. I was driving up towards the province side and I ran out of fuel as well along the way. And I bought 2 bottles of fuel, Sparletta, Sprite, and Coke, whatever, glass bottles. Put the fuel in. I don't know how clean it was, but it did get me home. But yeah, these guys, let me get to the point. What I'm trying to say is I buy a beer at Lucky, and it costs me 55 cents for the beer. It costs me 55 cents for a small can of Coke. When I buy a beer at the guy on the street corner or at the shop, the one-man band, where his shop is the front of his little house that's at the back here and that type of thing, I pay 50 cents. When I go to the hardware store, it's also like a little house over here, and I buy the little rubber hosing or this part or that part, I pay the same, if not less, than what I would pay at a bigger store or at the big stores or anything like that. No one is trying to rip you off. When somebody fixes this or does something about that, then they don't try and rip you off. They look after each other. And that's the only thing about South Africa is it seems like the one tries to rip the other off worse than before. And so I say, support the one-man business. But guys, spread it wide. Send me on email. Let me chuck my email up here again. Send me the honest guys that I can actually put them up here. I'll put them up for you. PPRSEcho@gmail.com. Peppersecho@gmail.com. Not a double P and no E. Send them to us because they are few, far between, and they are gold. What do we got here? Sorry, let's get to the next one first. Before KFC Debonaires. I'm not talking about those guys will look after themselves. Garage shop in a place called Chicken Palace are much better. Yeah, no, go down. There's a supermarket and another supermarket, and they've just built a big one over here. And just a little way up the road I walk to, it doesn't really have a name. We call it the Blue Store. Thai Hut, I pay $1.85 for my cigarettes. Yeah, cigarettes are cheap. That's why you get you don't smoke, you start. But and then Lucky, I think you pay $1.65. So and then their cartons are the same. So $1.85 will be $18.50. $1.65 will be $16.50. At the little Blue Store, which isn't the big chain store thing or whatever, I pay $1.50 for a pack of cigarettes. I always go and buy my cartons there for $15. So find there's a little restaurant called iEuro, and there's a place called The Pub. And the name is The Pub. They make roasts on Sundays. We actually got our roast from there today again. And you know what? The lady who works there and the guy who works there, they charged me. You go there for a roast. It is $7 for a massive roast, pork or lamb. I think lamb's $8 or $9, or chicken plus your cool drink, $7 for your roast. My wife and I have a roast each. With a cool drink is $14. For $14, I phoned these guys. Okay, now I'm not being funny. It's about 10 Ks, 10, 11 Ks, maybe a little bit more. Not too far, but through this traffic, 10 Ks, 10, 11 Ks is a navigational hazard. The lady who works there and the guy who works there both get onto a little scooter at 125, brrr, pop, pop, phone me, we downstairs, no more than $14. No delivery charge. Yeah, you've ordered. I obviously gave another $2 because I felt I just can't do this to these people. But I will order from them as much as possible. From the guy in the street, yes, definitely. So much better, yes. The single people, like you were saying, what do we got here? Let's give them a shout out. Chicken Palace, garage shop and a place called Chicken Palace. There we go, better. Also said about the wine farms. Yeah, we should all go on wine tasting. We should order wine tasting in. No, I'm kidding. Private breweries are being affected. Of course, yes. When we lived in Cape Town, we loved going down the little wine routes and that. And also why it's being affected is because of the amount of tourists and tourism that is down on it as such. I mean, how much? I think Angkor Wat was down in the first quarter, 98%. And as I've said before, it doesn't affect only the entrance fee, but it affects the person who's got his little business there, who's selling curios, who's selling food, who's doing the tours, who's driving you around there, it affects so many more people than what you would believe. And it is bread and butter because in Cambodia, you have a very low unemployment rate, but you have a very low rate that actually lives over the bread line as such. So your bread line, most are living, what I earn today, I eat tomorrow. If my little restaurant or takeaway shoppy or food place or whatever is closed today, I don't earn anything tomorrow, I don't eat tomorrow. If I don't earn anything today, I don't eat tomorrow. It's today, it's food tomorrow. It's the same thing when they go to the market to buy. They don't buy a month's groceries. They buy for today what I eat tomorrow. I'll buy this today. Tonight I'm going to cook it. Tomorrow I'll buy something else to go and cook or whatever. Really hectic. What do we got? Cigs. I used to enjoy them Camel Milds, I'm telling you. And I think, what was it? For a box at 20 Stuyvesant, 40 to 50. Mad. It's mad. Where's my phone? I pay, let me give $1.80. That's the worst is $1.85. And I refuse to wanting to pay that for them because I think they're ripping me off at $1.85, and that's for a box of Marlboro Gold. It's like Marlboro Lights. I don't have them lying. Yeah, I don't smoke at my computer, but that's $26.28, and that's at $1.85. I get mine at the Blue Store for $1.50. Is $21.31, and that's you get your Marlboro Reds for that. You get your Winston for that. Winston's actually cheaper. There's a local brand called Ara, which you buy for 50 cents. That's R7.10 a packet, and you get 21 cigarettes in there. And that's not your cheapy. That's a sort of a local fine brand that we can go with. So, yeah, that is absolutely madness. What else? I even bought my Camels for $13. And that was, look, you don't get Camels, totally off the shelf, but you do get them at the duty free. And I bought for $13 for a carton of 10. It's $1.30. That means for my Camel filters, which were Camel full flavor, which were Camel mild, it's the light yellow one, I paid $1.30, which was 18 Rand and 47 cents a pack. And that was from duty free below Naga World, which is the Dinkum thing. It's not from a market which has got knockoffs of that in it. So, yeah, no. And you know what? I don't really drink. So, you know, I do feel sorry for the liquor stores and things like that, because I'm not saying I don't drink. I'll have a glass of wine or something to that effect. I had a beer yesterday, which I hadn't had in months. They've closed the bottle stores and that, and opened them and closed them and opened them. And I've got a bottle of whiskey here at home, which I haven't touched in all of that time because it just hasn't bothered me. I'm not very, very clung on to my alcohol. In actual fact, it's something that I'm just not fond of. So I'd rather have a can of Coke Zero or a soda orange juice, or please give me some decent coffee. That'll be great. But don't take my cigarettes away. That's my vice. That is my vice. I will. You know what? And so many people are dying of everything else, but they've stopped smoking so they can live longer. Really? I believe that your line is drawn when your line is drawn, but I got so much still. Wine farms have been bought by the ANC leads, and they're going to dung. Let's say dung. Guys, I don't want to be an absolute stick in the mud. Lynn, thank you so much. You've actually made the show for us this evening. So, you know what? Lynn from Buzzy's Moments. Let me put you in there again. Guys, please go and support. Let me just get it over here and share the screen there. Oh, where is it? There we go. Buzzy's Moments. Extra editions will never die. I strongly would advise, go sign up, subscribe. It is a little bit of love. It is really heartwarming. I love the intention. You can actually feel the genuinity come through there, and goosebumps when I that intro that you have. Absolutely beautiful. And I'm not from there, but my mom and dad come from, is it northern or southern, wherever Rhodesia was in Zambia, actually, a place called Mufulera. He used to work on the copper belt there before we moved to a little place in the Northern Cape called Lime Acres. And then I was probably celebrated, and then I popped along. Ooh, hello, I'm late. Anyway, most of all, thank you so much, Lynn. I'm really chuffed. Thank you so much for being on. You made the show. You made me feel so much better. And I loved your show last night. I really hope you're going to do it more often, because I actually look out for it. It's one of those feel-good things. We just had such a nice chat that you have. And definitely, if you got it and I'm awake, I will definitely be jumping on there if you have a phone in or something to that effect. And let me know, guys. For everybody out there, once again, please let me do the like and subscribe, please. If you like it, ring it. If you don't tell your friends. But if you do, tell everybody. But and then let me know about my time. If there's a different slot. Just remember, don't tell me do it 7 o'clock at night, because I can't wake up at 12 o'clock at night and suddenly start streaming. That is why I'm just over there. But awesomeness, yes, awesome stuff. Thank you very, very much. Take care of yourselves. God bless. Look after yourself. Remember, be good. And remember, if you can't be good, please be kind. Take care.